Congratulations, you've reached the end of this video course. This is video number 7. We're going to talk about after the webinar follow-up templates. So get ready to take out your pen and paper or start jotting things down because we're going to run through this and I'm going to show you the exact swipe files. Okay, so I've opened up my Microsoft Word and I've written up these email templates. And the strategy here is to obviously use scarcity. You can test this out, but we recommend a timer, or you can do a longer period to test it out. You can do something like 2 weeks and see how well it works with your audience, because you really don't know until you test it out. So let's start with the after webinar template. So 24 hours after the webinar. If you can't do it, try to do 48 hours. So, because I realize you do have to edit the video, you have to upload it, and so forth. But if I were you, I would spend that day, the next day, trying to do that. Because time is crucial. Say, hey, first name, the webinar replay is live. If you are having this problem, then the solution is this. What I mean by that is in relation to your webinar, you kind of want to get a gauge after the webinar what the major problems that people are having that are preventing them from reaching their desires and wants. So place that here, then the solution is this. And you want to make sure that that is actually covered in your webinar. So you're still giving people a sneak peek preview, because remember, you're speaking to people who also may not have attended the webinar as well. So you still want to say some sort of benefit or tip. Then you can say, watch the webinar replay to learn how. And you can insert another tip if you want. You don't have to. You can insert the link. Then we have something like, attendees really liked the blank tip and another tip. So you're essentially doing a very similar thing with the before webinar templates, where you're inserting and sprinkling tips everywhere. But you can say, but those are just 2 of many, hinting that there are more in the webinar. Then 72 hours before you do the actual countdown timer. So you want to make sure that you have an email that is closer to the webinar itself. So 72 hours before the end. Hey, first name, the webinar has gotten a lot of great comments and this might be my best webinar yet. Now, obviously only say that if that's true, because you don't want to say that every single time. But if you can put something like that, or something with social proof involved, if you got a comment from somebody, put that in. Got a testimonial, put that in. You put something else so that everybody else thinks, okay, wow, okay, the herd mentality is here. So-and-so, if so-and-so thinks it's great, it must be great, so I'm going to go check it out. So go watch it before I take it down, because I want to keep this within a limited amount of people. So this basically tells everyone that, hey, I don't really want to release this to everybody. I only want to release this to a certain amount of people. And obviously, as you're writing this, be ethical about it. Make sure that you're doing what you say that you're doing. But that basically tells people, hey, you got to secure your seat now before it ends, because when it ends, probably not going to open it for this long of a period. And then warm regards, your name, PS, it'll be up for another 72 hours. Then the last email, you can do more emails if you want to do so. You can do 24 hours before midnight or end time, and then another 12 hours right before then, because that's generally during the 24-hour period is when the most of the sales actually come in. What we found through testing is that most people do not buy. They buy in the beginning, they don't really buy in the middle, and they buy at the very end Or they email you after the end is complete and they say, hey, uh, I missed it. And I get it. So that's what usually happens. You can say, hey, first name, if you're facing another objection, whether it's time or money, then you'll want to watch this video as it solves this objection. So video can be webinar as it solves this objection. So at the very end, there are reasons why people have not purchased. There are many, many reasons. But if you can think about in your niche, in your market, what is the main objection that people have? When people email you in support help desk, what do they ask? What are these main objections that people have? If you can figure out what the top 1, 2, or 3, I want to go more than that, but if you can figure out the top 1, 2, or 3 objections, and then solve the objection by saying it's in the webinar, then you'll actually get more people to your webinar, because those are objections that people have. Either they don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, they've tried things but failed in the past. So this is going to help you a lot. And then put a link here. You can say after you watch it, you will see how to solve the problem and achieve your desires. So you can find your objections, you can find the problems they face, and the desires that they ultimately want to achieve. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on in this last email. There's objections, solving those objections, problems, solving those problems, and scarcity. This offer will be removed by, let's say, 11:59 p.m., which is a minute before midnight. You want to put your time zone, whether that's EST, MST, CST, whatever, and then the day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, at the latest. So please don't delay. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed writing up these emails and sharing these with you. With that said, make sure you go back to the video course and take everything in, and don't forget to take action.